Central, and this is yet another YouTube video on Pytorch. Last time we focused on basic implementation of Pytorch. On this specific video, we're gonna be focusing on changing the device from CPU to GPU. And to do that, you have to focus on two things. Number one is the dataset, and the second thing is the neural network. And last time we're gonna be using the same script we did last time. So we imported the basic libraries. From that, we had the NumPy dataset. Then we converted the NumPy dataset to Torch tensors. Now, this dataset is by default in CPU format. So this is where we're gonna start by changing or deploying our device to GPU. So I'm gonna have like a new cell here, and I'm gonna say deploying to, let's say, GPU. And there are two ways. I'm gonna have the first method, and the first method is directly to deploy the dataset to CUDA. For my case, because I'm using CUDA GPU. So here I'm gonna have the same name or the same variable. So input tensor, and I'm gonna have it as input tensor. Again, just directly to CUDA if you have CUDA. This is the first method. The second method is having a variable. Let me just have it as method 2. Here is having a variable, for instance, device, and saying maybe CUDA if you have CUDA. If you have CUDA, if you have else just default to CPU. So if you have CUDA, you use CUDA, else just default to CPU. And this is a much better method than the first method, because assuming you're not sure whether you have the CUDA enabled GPU, then the model is automatically gonna be defaulted to CPU, and you're not gonna encounter any errors, unlike when you're using the first method. So here you're just gonna use the same method as we used in the first one, but now here instead of CUDA, you're gonna have device. And the same case goes with the target data. I'm gonna just have the same, it's actually target tensor, the same name as target tensor. Again, I'm gonna have it as the same method as the input dataset. So having them into device, you can confirm whether they are exactly into GPU. So what you're gonna do is, for instance, I'm gonna pick input tensor, and then I'm gonna call the device. And as you can see, we already have our input tensor into CUDA enabled GPU. Then the second thing is you need to convert your neural network to GPU. And to do that, you're gonna do the same thing. It's actually the same method. You can use the first method or you can use the second method. Let me just stick with the second method. And here, let me just say deploy the network to GPU. And here I'm just gonna have the same name. So, and then the same method as we used with the dataset, and just have it as device. You can use the other method, which is also okay if you are comfortable with it. And here just defining the CUDA. So it's actually basically the same thing, but I do prefer having the device rather than the CUDA to make my code more okay, instead, if in case I have some errors. And then the same processes as we did last time. You train and then you visualize your results. And that is basically it on how to shift your device from CPU to GPU if you want to have accelerated training, faster training, and if you have large number of data sets. And that's basically it. Until next time, peace.